Hellion. Blast it, Rook. What do you think you're doing? I'm doing my job. You may enter.
Come in, Captain.
I thought you'd want to know, Admiral. The scout ships have returned from the Abroa Sky system. The Wing Command will be ready for debriefing in a few minutes.
Were they able to tap into the central library system?
They got at least a partial dump. I don't know yet if they were able to complete it. Apparently there was some attempt at pursuit. The Wing Commander thinks he lost the blow.
No, I don't believe he has. Particularly not if the pursuers were from the rebellion.
Yes, sir. I've ordered the sentry line onto yellow alert. Shall we go to red?
Not yet. Tell me, Captain, do you know anything about art?
Not very much.
You should make the time. Safa paintings. Note how the style changes right here.
Bridge to Grand Admiral Thrawn. Sir, we're under attack.
This is Thrawn. Go to red alert and tell me what we've got. Calmly, if possible.
Yes, sir. 4 new Republic assault frigates, plus several wings of X-Wing fighters coming in on the scout ship's vector.
Run engines to full power. Prepare to make the jump to light speed.
Belay that jump order. TIE fighter crews to their stations. Activate deflector shields.
Admiral?
Let's take a look, shall we? Let's see exactly what we're dealing with. Bridge, order the nearest 3 sentry ships to attack. Excellent. Pull the other 2 sentry ships back.
Shouldn't we signal the rest of the fleet? The Death's Head could be here in 20 minutes. Most of the others in less than an hour.
The last thing we want to do is bring in more of our ships, Captain. After all, there may be survivors, and we wouldn't want the rebellion learning about us, would we? Bridge, I want us flat to the invader's vector.
Yes, sir. Sir?
You don't have to understand, Lieutenant. Just obey.
I'm afraid I don't understand either.
Watch and learn, Captain. TIE fighter squadrons, launch when ready. Head directly away from the Chimera for 2 kilometers, then sweep around in open cluster formation. Do you understand now, Captain?
Turning the ship gives the fighters some exit cover, but the rest is nothing but a classic Mark Sable closure maneuver. They're not going to fall for anything that simple.
On the contrary, not only will they fall for it, they'll be utterly destroyed by it. Watch, Captain, and learn.
What in the Empire are they doing?
They are trying the only defense they know of against a Mark Sable. Or to be more precise, the only defense they are psychologically capable of attempting. You see, there is an element commanding that force, and element simply cannot handle the unstructured attack profile of a Mark Sable.
That sentry ship. You were able to tell from that those were Illumin ships?
Learn about art, Captain. When you understand the species art, you understand that species. Bridge, bring us to flank speed. Prepare to join the attack.
Sounds like the Aurora sky system is a bust. We cannot spare the manpower needed to pacify the planet.
For now, perhaps. But only for now. Bridge, this is Grand Admiral Thrawn. Set course for the planet Merca.
Merca, Admiral?
The first piece of the puzzle. A creature indigenous to the planet. The second piece lies on a world called Wayland.
May I ask what exactly this puzzle is?
Aye, the only puzzle worth solving, of course. The complete, total and utter destruction of the rebellion.
Luke.
Hello, Ben. It's been a while.
It has indeed. And I'm afraid it will be longer still until the next time. I've come to say goodbye, Luke.
No, you can't leave us, Ben. We need you.
You don't need me, Luke. You are a Jedi, strong in the Force, but you must never relax your guard. The Emperor is gone, but the dark side is still powerful. Never forget that.
I won't.
You will yet face great dangers, Luke, but you will also find new allies at times and places where you expect them least.
New allies? Who are they?
I have lingered too long already, and can no longer postpone my journey from this life to what lies beyond. You too will face this same journey one day. I loved you as a son, as a student, and as a friend. Until we meet again, may the Force be with you.
Then I am alone, and the last of the Jedi.
Not the last of the old Jedi, Luke. The first of the new.
I'm over here, 3PO.
Master Luke, I'm terribly sorry to disturb you.
That's alright. I'm just missing Ben tonight.
He was always very kind to me, and also to R2, of course.
You might have just delivered his final lesson to me.
Oh?
Governments and entire planets are important, 3PO. But when you sift everything down, they're just made up of people. And a Jedi can't get so caught up in matters of galactic importance that it interferes with his concern for individual people, or for individual droids.
Oh, I see, sir. Well, if you are indeed all right, I expect I should be on my way.
Sure. 3PO? What made you come up here in the first place?
Mistress Leia sent me. She said you were in some kind of distress.
Show off.
I beg your pardon, sir?
Leia's showing off her new Jedi skills, proving even in the middle of the night she can pick up on my mood.
Oh, shall I tell her you're all right then?
Sure. And tell her I love her.
I'll deliver the message, sir.
Your Highness, are you all right?
I'm fine.
Can I get you some more milk, Your Highness? Or something to eat?
No, thank you. My stomach isn't really bothering me at the moment. Well, you know, it's Luke.
The same thing that's been bothering him for the past 9 weeks.
Has it been that long?
You've been busy.
I don't know, Winter. I really don't.
Perhaps it's something to do with your pregnancy. 9 weeks ago would put it just about right.
Yes, but it's also when Mon Mothma and Admiral Akbar were pushing to move the government seat to Coruscant. Also about the time we started getting reports of some mysterious tactical genius having taken over command of the Imperial fleet.
I suppose you'll just have to wait until he's ready to talk to you. Perhaps Captain Solo will be able to draw him out when he returns.
Maybe.
Good night, Your Highness.
Didn't we just leave this party? Don't worry, he'll be here. It's just Travis. I don't think he's ever been on time for anything his whole life.
Hello, Solo.
Travis, long time no see. Have a seat.
Sure. As soon as you put your hands on the table.
Oh, come on. We're old buddies, remember?
Sure we are. But I hear you've gone respectable.
Respectable is such a vague word.
Oh, well, let's be specific. You joined the Rebel Alliance, made a general, married a princess, and have twins on the way.
I resigned the general part a while back.
Forgive me. So what's all this about? A warning?
Nothing like that. We're looking to hire smugglers.
Is this something to do with your fight against the Empire? Because if it is...
It isn't. The New Republic is short on cargo ships, not to mention experienced pilots. If you're looking to earn some quick and honest money, this would be a good time to do it.
So what's the catch?
No catch. We just need ships and pilots to get the interstellar trade going again. You've got them.
Why work for you and your pittance directly? Why can't we just smuggle the stuff and make more per trip?
You could, but only if your customers had to pay the trade tariffs that make hiring smugglers worthwhile. In this case, they won't.
Oh, come on, Solo. You expect me to believe that?
So what are you going to do instead? Operate the Imperial sectors?
It pays.
For now, but their territories have been shrinking for 5 years straight.
Maybe. Maybe not. I hear rumors there's someone new in charge out there. Someone who's been giving you a lot of trouble. Like in the Aurora Sky system. Well, it really was nice seeing you again, Solo, but I gotta go.
Just give your people our offer, okay?
Oh, I will. Might even be someone who'll take you up on it. Never can tell.
One other thing. Who exactly is the big fish in the pond now that Jabba's gone?
That's not really a secret. Talon Card.
Where can I find him?
Oh, you'd like to know that, wouldn't you? Maybe someday I'll tell you.
Travis!
Gotta go. Mara, please come in.
You didn't say what this meeting was all about.
No, it's not what you're thinking. This is a business meal. No more, no less. That's right, Drang. A business meal. Come on, out with you. I said out with you. Oh, don't give me that poor little knee axe. Where were we?
You were telling me this was a business meal. It's certainly the nicest business meal I've had in quite a while.
I think it's occasionally good for us to remember that being a smuggler doesn't necessarily require one to be a barbarian, too.
Ah, and I'm sure most of your people are very grateful for that reminder.
It does often make for an interesting evening, particularly when discussing a promotion.
A promotion? I've only been with the group for 6 months.
Time has never been as important as ability and results. Your ability and results have been quite impressive.
I've been lucky.
I've found that what most people call luck is often little more than raw talent, combined with the ability to make the most of opportunities. What I'd like to do is start grooming you toward becoming my second in command.
What exactly would my new duties consist of?
Traveling with me, mostly. Watching me set up new business, meeting some of our long-term customers, that sort of thing.
If you give me that kind of authority, I'm going to use it. There's some...
Yes?
It's Aves. Thought you'd like to know we've got company.
Any make on it?
Tor's best guess is the Chimera.
Interesting. Grand Admiral Thrawn himself.
They're launching shuttles. Projected landing point somewhere here in the forest. No more than 50 kilometers from here either. Shall I call an alert?
On the contrary, let's see if they need any help. Give me a hailing channel. Imperial Star Destroyer Chimera. This is Talon Card. May I be of assistance?
This is Captain Pelion of the Chimera. What is it you want?
Merely to be neighbourly. We tracked 2 of your shuttles coming down, and wondered if you or Grand Admiral Thrawn might require assistance.
Who?
Ah, of course. I haven't heard of Grand Admiral Thrawn either. Certainly not in connection with the Chimera, or some intriguing information raids around the Broa sky.
You are very well informed, Mr. Card. Information on Imperial activities can be very expensive. I'd have thought a man in your line of work would know that.
Indeed. But occasionally, one finds bargains. It's the Isla Lemiri you're after, isn't it?
There are no bargains to be had here, Card. And expensive can mean costly.
True. I presume you're already familiar with the Isla Lemiri's rather unique characteristics. Can I assume you're also familiar with the somewhat esoteric art of safely getting them off their tree branches?
I was under the impression that Isla Lemiri were not predatory.
I wasn't referring to your safety, Captain. I meant theirs. You can't simply pull them off their branches, not without killing them.
And you, I suppose, know the proper way to do it.
Well, some of my people do, yes. If you'd like, I could send one of them to rendezvous with your shuttles.
Of course. And the fee for this esoteric demonstration?
No fee, Captain. As I said earlier, we're just being neighbourly.
Your generosity will be remembered. I'll signal my shuttles to await your expert.
He'll be there. Goodbye, Captain. You got all that?
Duncan and Chin are already warming up one of the skip rays.
Good. I'll want to see them as soon as they're back. Sorry for the interruption.
You don't believe they're here just to pick up Ysalamari, do you?
Not really. There's only one Jedi left in the galaxy. They wouldn't come all the way out here for Isla Lemiri to use against him.
Maybe it's not Skywalker they're after. Maybe they found some more Jedi.
Seems unlikely. The Emperor supposedly made a clean sweep of them. Unless they found Darth Vader.
He died on the Death Star, along with the Emperor.
That's the story.
He died there.
Still, if the Grand Admiral thinks he has a good reason to carry Isla Lemiri aboard his ships, we might do well to follow his lead.
Thrawn's probably just jumping at shadows.
We still have business to discuss. As I recall, you had ideas on improvements to the organization.
So once again, your smuggler friends refuse to commit themselves.
It's not a matter of commitment, Admiral. It's a matter that most of them just don't see any real gain in switching from their current activities to straight shipping.
Or else it's a lack of trust.
Because of me, of course. Haven't you tired of retaking this same territory, Councillor Leia?
I merely seek to clarify the situation in my own mind, Admiral. It's hardly worthwhile sending a valuable man like Captain Solo out if these missions are predoomed to failure.
They're not predoomed to failure. They'll come around.
Meanwhile, we expend a great deal of time and effort with nothing to show for it.
What the smugglers are waiting for is the same thing as the rest of the galaxy. The formal re-establishment of the principles and law of the Old Republic. That is our first and primary task, Councillors. Captain Solo, we thank you for your report and too for your efforts. This meeting is adjourned.
So,
Your Highness.
are we out of here?
The sooner the better.
Things get a little rough before they called me in?
No more than usual. Phalia and Akbar had one of their polite dogfights over the fiasco at Obroa Sky and the missing task force. Phalia suggested the job might be too much for Akbar to handle, and then of course...
A word with you, Leia? I forgot to ask you earlier if you talked to Luke about going with you to Bimmisaari. Did he agree?
Yes. I'm sorry, Han, I didn't get a chance to tell you. The Bims asked for Luke to be there with me for the talks.
They did, huh? They give any reasons?
The Bims are rather hero-orientated, and Luke's part in the Battle of Endor is rather well known.
We'd better get going.
The droids are already on the Falcon. Chewie got them aboard while I was here.
It'll be alright, Han. You, me, and Luke together again. It'll be just like old times.
I'm still not convinced this is really necessary.
All it's a precaution, Captain. It's conceivable we could have trouble convincing him of who we are.
We might have an easier time convincing him with a squad of stormtroopers along.
We might also have irritated him. A dark Jedi's pride and sensibilities are not to be taken lightly, Captain.
You seem quite certain, sir, that this Guardian will be a dark Jedi.
Who else would the Emperor have chosen to protect his personal storehouse?
Is that Mount Tantiss?
Interesting. There are at least 3 styles of architecture here. Human, plus 2 different alien species.
Any idea whether those alien species are hostile towards strangers?
Probably.
I seek the Guardian of the Mountain. Who will take me to him?
Hold.
One of your people just shot at us. Observe the consequences.
Now.
I will ask once more. Who will take me to the Guardian of the Mountain?
Who are you?
I am Grand Admiral Thrawn, warlord of the Empire. I seek the Guardian of the Mountain.
I will take you to him.
Stay close together. Be alert for a trap. I would have thought the Guardian would be living in the mountain.
He did, once. When I began my role, The people of Wayland built this for him.
I see. So he is dead.
He is. I killed him. Just as I now kill you. You're not Jedi. How do you do this?
Join us and learn.
I am a Jedi Master. I join no one.
In that case, permit us to join you, and permit us to show you all the power a Jedi Master could desire. May I ask who we have the honor of addressing?
I am the Jedi Master Joruus C'baoth. You will now tell me how it was you defeated my attack.
It's quite simple, actually. These creatures you see on our backs are called Ysalamiri. They have an interesting and possibly unique ability. They push back the Force.
What do you mean, push it back?
They push its presence out away from themselves, much the same way a bubble is created by air pushing outward against water.
I've never heard of such a thing. How could such a creature come about?
I really don't know. Not that it matters. For the moment, the ability itself is sufficient for my purpose.
That purpose being to defeat my power?
We were expecting to find the Emperor's Guardian. I needed to make certain he would allow us to identify ourselves and our mission.
And that is?
All in good time. And only after we've had a chance to examine the Emperor's storehouse in Mount Tantiss.
So the mountain is all you really want?
I need the mountain, certainly. Or rather, what I hope to find within it.
That being?
The Emperor's researchers developed a genuinely practical cloaking shield. I want it. And some other, almost trivial, pieces of technology.
And you think to find one of these cloaking shields in the mountain?
I expect to find either a working model, or at least a complete set of schematics. But I also require the partnership of a Jedi Master, like yourself.
Ah, we finally get down to it. This, I take it, is where you offer me all the power even a Jedi Master could desire.
Tell me, are you familiar with the Imperial Fleet's disastrous defeat at the Battle of Endor 5 years ago?
I've heard rumors. One of the off-worlders who came here spoke about it, though only briefly.
Then you must have wondered how a few dozen rebel ships could possibly rout an Imperial force that outgunned it by at least 10 to 1.
I assume that the rebels were simply better warriors.
They fought better than the fleet, because the Emperor was dead. You were there, Captain. You must have noticed it. A sudden loss of coordination between crew members and ships. The loss of efficiency and discipline. The loss of, in short, that elusive quality we call fighting spirit.
There was some confusion, yes, but nothing that can't be explained by the normal stresses of battle.
Really? The sudden last-minute TIE fighter incompetence? The loss of 6 Star Destroyers in engagements they should have won easily? Nothing but normal battle strength?
The Emperor was not directing the battle. I was there, Admiral. I know.
Yes, Captain. You were there. And it's time you faced the truth, no matter how bitter you find it. None of you had any fighting spirit of your own. It was the Emperor's will that drove you. The Emperor's mind that provided you with strength and resolve. You were dependent on his presence.
That's not true. It can't be. We fought on after his death.
Yes, you fought on, like cadets.
So this is what you want me for? To turn your ships into puppets for you?
The Emperor's fatal error was that he alone constantly and completely controlled the Imperial fleet. My wish is merely to have you enhance the coordination between ships and task forces, and then only in carefully selected combat situations.
To what end?
Power. The conquering of worlds. The final defeat of the rebellion. The re-establishment of the glory that was once the Empire's new order.
You don't understand power. Conquering worlds you will never again visit is not power. This planet, this city, these people are mine. Mine! I teach them, I command them, I punish them. Their lives and deaths are in my hands.
I need your assistance, Master Sabaean, and I will have it.
Or you'll do what? Have your Nogri try to kill me? It would almost be amusing to watch. Perhaps I seek a challenge in your destruction.
That would hardly be a challenge for a man of your skill and power. But then you probably have other Jedi under your command.
Other Jedi? There are no Jedi left.
2 new Jedi have arisen in the past 5 years. Luke Skywalker and his sister, Leia Organa Solo. I can deliver them to you.
Both of them?
Both of them. Consider what a man of your skill could do with brand new Jedi. Mold them, change them, recreate them in any image you choose. And with them would come with a very special bonus, because Leia Organa Solo is pregnant with twins.
Jedi twins? Very well, Grand Admiral Thrawn. In return for the Jedi, I will assist your forces.
A word with you, Admiral.
Certainly, Captain. Come in.
Admiral, I have to tell you that I am not convinced dealing with Sabaoth is a good idea. To be perfectly honest, I don't think he's entirely sane.
Of course he's not sane. But then, he's not Joruus C'baoth either.
What?
Joruus C'baoth is dead. He was one of 6 Jedi Masters aboard the Old Republic's outbound flight project. It was intercepted by a task force outside Old Republic space and destroyed.
How do you know, sir?
Because I was that force's commander.
But then...
Who is it we've brought aboard the Chimera? Joruus C'baoth is a clone.
A clone?
Certainly. Created from a tissue sample. Probably sometime before the real C'baoth's death.
I don't like it, Admiral. We can hardly protect the ship from him, while at the same time having him coordinate the fleet's attacks.
There's a degree of risk involved. But risk has always been an inescapable part of warfare. If there's nothing more.
No, sir.
It will bring us victory, Captain. Quiet your fears and concentrate on that.
Yes, sir.
do fine.
I wish you two wouldn't do that. It's like listening to half a conversation.
Sorry. Looks like our reception committee is coming.
Last chance to change your mind, Chewie. Come on. You've been fawned over before. Remember that big awards thing back at Yavin? I didn't hear you complaining then.
It's all right, Han. If he wants to stay aboard with R2, the Bims won't be offended.
I wasn't worried about offending them. I just thought it'd be nice to have a little extra backup along.
The Bims are very friendly people. There won't be any trouble.
I've heard that before.
He offers greetings to distinguished visitor Councillor Leia Organa Solo and hopes your discussions with the law elders will be fruitful. He also requests that Captain Solo return his weapon to the ship.
What was that last part?
Captain Solo must leave his weapon aboard the ship. Weapons of violence are not permitted within the city.
Terrific.
It doesn't look like we've got any choice.
Diplomacy.
Tell them we're ready. Luke?
Yes, I know. Maybe they just figure it's just part of the proper Jedi outfit.
Or else their weapons detector doesn't read lightsabers. Either way, what they don't know won't hurt them.
He says the Tower of Law is just ahead. They add their greetings and apologies that the talks cannot begin quite yet. It appears the chief negotiator became ill just moments ago.
Oh, is there anything we can do to help?
They thank you but assure you that will not be necessary. The complaint appears to be a rather personal nature.
I understand. In that case, we might as well return to the Falcon until he feels ready to continue.
He offers an alternative, Your Highness. He would be eager to conduct a tour of the marketplace. He further suggests that Master Luke and Captain Solo might find something to interest them in the Tower Museum. Relics dating back to the Old Republic.
Luke and Han might like the market too.
He says they would find it excessively dull.
I like marketplaces. I like them a lot.
What do you think?
I don't sense any danger.
In that case, Han and I will tour the market while Luke visits the museum.
The marketplace has been in the same spot for over 200 years.
Hasn't changed much, has it?
You can see why this place is worth getting into the New Republic.
Do you have any weapons? Hey, not touching the wares. You got it.
No thanks. 3PO, will you have our host tell him we're not interested? 3PO! Hey, Goldenrod, I'm talking to you.
I'm terribly sorry, Captain Solo, but our host seems to have disappeared.
What do you mean, disappeared?
I've got a bad feeling about this. Let's get back to the tower.
Yeah. We've got trouble.
Han!
are doomed!
Who are they?
Never seen anything like them before, but they're not kidding around. I think it's time to pull in the welcome mat. Give Luke a shout.
He can't help us. They've got him too. Luke!
What do you want? In there? All right, no problem. If you have some business with me, I'm willing to talk. You don't need my friends in the marketplace for that. And there's no particular reason any of you has to get hurt. Now where?
He's coming.
Let's hope our pals don't find out before he gets here. Great.
Han!
Chewie!
You are a mess.
I'm sorry, Master Luke. I always seem to be causing you trouble.
You've been a great help to all of us over the years. You just have to learn when to duck.
No, Captain Solo did not tell me to duck. What he said was, get ready to duck. I should think the difference would be apparent even to you.
Maybe the Bims can suggest something. We'll ask when we get back down.
We're going back?
We have to, Luke. This is a diplomatic mission. It's considered bad form to leave right after one of your ships has just shot up a local marketplace.
I would think the Bims would consider themselves lucky that none of their people got killed, particularly when it was at least partly their fault.
You can't blame a whole society for the actions of a few individuals, especially when a single political maverick has made a bad decision.
A bad decision?
Apparently the Bim who led us to the marketplace was bribed to take us there. He had no idea what was going to happen.
What does Han have to say about putting us back down?
We just made the jump to lightspeed. Next stop, Coruscant.
Han, I told the Bims we were coming right back down.
And I told them there'd be a short delay. Long enough for us to collect a squadron of X-Wings or maybe a Star Cruiser to bring back with us.
What if you've offended them? You shouldn't have left without consulting me first.
You're right. But there wasn't time to discuss it in a committee.
I am not a committee.
Did either of you ask the Bims who or what our attackers were?
They didn't know.
We can check the Imperial archives when we get back to Coruscant, and there'll be a record of them.
Unless there's something the Empire found out in the unknown regions.
You think the Empire's behind this?
Who else could it have been? The question is why?
Whatever the reason, they're gonna be disappointed. Isn't it about time Leia had a lightsaber of her own?
Leia?
I don't know. I've never really felt comfortable with the things. But I suppose I ought to make the effort.
I think you should. Your talents may lie along a different direction, but you should still learn the basics. As far as I can tell, Nearly all of the Jedi in the Old Republic carried them, even healers and teachers.
All right. As soon as we get back, I'll tell Mon Mothma she has to cut down my assignments. I guess break time's over, teacher.
I took it upon myself to train him as a Jedi. I thought I could instruct him as well as Yoda. I was wrong.
All died but the coordinator then.
Yes, sir. We're still not sure what went wrong.
Instruct Central to give the coordinator a thorough debriefing. What report from Wayland?
Is that it, then? Your Nogri have failed, so too bad, and on to more pressing business? You promised me Jedi, Grand Admiral Thrawn.
I promised you Jedi, and I will deliver them. What report from Wayland?
The engineering team reports the cloaking shield schematics seem complete, but to actually build one will take some time, and be highly expensive for a ship the size of the Chimera.
Fortunately, they won't have to start with anything nearly as big. Here are the specs for what we'll need at Louis Van. Oh, and we're going to need some advanced mining machines. Mole miners, I believe they're called. Have intelligence do a search.
Yes, sir. One other thing, sir. The engineers report that nearly 80% of the Sparty cylinders we'll need are fully functional.
Sparty cylinders? What are those?
Just that other bit of technology I found in the mountain. So, 80%. That's excellent, Captain. Excellent. How very thoughtful of the Emperor to have left such fine equipment for us to rebuild his empire with. Instruct them to bring the cylinders to full operational status.
Yes, sir. And about Skywalker and his sister?
We'll use Nogri Team 4 next. Transmit a message with the new orders.
You want me to transmit the message, sir? Not that I'm questioning the order, but in the past you've usually preferred to contact them yourself.
Team 8 failed me. Sending the message through you will let the others know how displeased I am.
And when Team 4 also fails you, will you be merely displeased with them too? Or will you admit your professional killing machines simply can't handle a Jedi?
What alternative do you suggest? That we concentrate on his sister and leave him alone?
That you concentrate on his sister, yes. I think it best that I deal with a young Jedi myself.
I need you with my fleet. Preparations for the assault on the Rebellion's Sluis Van space dock facility have already begun. Some of the preliminaries to that assault will require a Jedi Master's coordination.
My assistance was promised only upon your promise to deliver my Jedi to me. I will have them, Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Does a Jedi go back on his word? You knew that obtaining Skywalker might take some time.
All the more reason for me to begin now.
Why can't we do both?
Explain, Captain.
We could begin by starting rumors of your presence, Master Sabayoth. Some sparsely populated world where you might have lived for years without anyone noticing. Rumors of that sort will certainly make their way back to the Rebellion.
And there will be nothing there to connect you to us.
Well, we find a suitable planet and start the rumors. Master Sabayoth can remain here to assist with the Sluis Van preliminaries.
And we'll know when he makes his move. And in plenty of time to get you there ahead of him.
Very well, Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Congratulations, Captain. Your idea seems to have caught Master Sabayoth's fancy.
I apologize, Admiral, if I spoke out of turn.
You served too long under Lord Vader, Captain. I have no qualms about accepting a useful idea, merely because it wasn't my own. My position and ego are not at stake here.
Yes, sir. With your permission, Admiral, I'll go prepare those transmissions to Wayland and the Nogri teams.
At your convenience, Captain. And continue to monitor the preparations for the Sluis Van operation closely. With Mounts Tantiss and Sluis Van both, the long path to victory over the rebellion will have begun. With, or even without, our Jedi Master.
Let me get this straight, Captain Solo. You alone, and without consultation with anyone in official authority, made the decision to cancel the Bimmisaari mission.
I've already stated that. I've also stated my reasons for doing so.
Which, in my opinion, were good and proper ones. Captain Solo's duty was abundantly clear. To protect the ambassador in his charge and return safely to alert us.
Alert us to what? Forgive me, Admiral, but I don't understand what exactly the threat is we're supposed to be facing. Whoever these grey-skinned beings were, they clearly weren't important enough to be included in the Old Republic's records. A race that insignificant isn't likely to be capable of a major offensive.
We don't know if that's the reason they aren't in the records. It could be an oversight or gap damage.
Or else a deliberate erasure.
And why would the Empire want to erase the records of an entire race?
Maybe they saw the Old Republic's coming demise. They might have erased all references to themselves in hopes the Empire wouldn't notice them.
I still see no reason to make a fully fledged military operation out of this. To reduce our glorious forces to the level of mere diplomatic entourage is an insult to their courage and fighting spirit.
You can dispense with the speeches, Counselor. None of our glorious forces are here to be impressed by them.
I wonder if we could get back to the original subject? I presume it hasn't escaped anyone's notice that the aliens were ready and waiting for us when we reached Bimmisaari.
We're going to need tighter security for these missions, at both ends. Your attackers did suborn a local Brim politician, after all.
All of which cost that much more time and effort.
It can't be helped. If we don't protect our negotiators, the New Republic will stagnate and wither. Admiral, you will detail a force to accompany Councillor Organa Solo on her trip back to Bimmisaari tomorrow.
Excuse me, tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow. The Bims are still waiting, Captain.
I know, but...
What Han is trying to say is that I had intended to ask for a brief leave of absence.
I'm afraid that's impossible. There's far too much work to be done.
We're not talking about a vacation here. Leia needs to concentrate on her Jedi training.
I'm sorry. I recognize the need to add new Jedi to our ranks, but for now, there are far too many urgent demands on our time. I'm afraid we need you here. Unless there's something more, we stand adjourned.
You alright?
You know, it was a lot easier back when we were just taking on the Empire. At least then we knew who our enemies were.
Captain, is my flagship ready?
The Chimera is fully at your command, Admiral.
Excellent. Master Sabayoth, are my other 2 task forces ready?
They are. They merely await my command.
Then command them. Captain, make the jump.
All fighters, launch!
Respond.
Defending fighters launching from the 3rd moon.
Get a location on that fighter base, and detail the inexorable to move in and destroy it.
Change course for the farther of the 2 planets. The Judicator will take the other. Any special orders, Admiral?
Stay with the program. Choose targets at will, but remind our gunners that the plan is to hurt and frighten, not obliterate.
Relay that.
Master Sabayoth, what's the status of the attacks in the other systems?
They proceed.
Are you alright, Master Sabayoth?
Save your concern, Captain. He's doing what he enjoys most. Controlling people.
I told you once, Grand Admiral, that is not true power.
So you've said. Can you tell what sort of resistance they're facing?
Not precisely, but neither force is in danger. That much I can feel in their minds.
We've pinpointed the location of the distress transmissions, Admiral.
We'll be long gone before any reinforcements can arrive. We might as well let the rebellion waste its resources rushing useless forces to the rescue. In fact, I believe it's time for us to take our leave. Order our squadrons back and all ships jump to light speed as soon as the fighters are aboard. Order the other 2 task forces to break off their attacks as well. I presume you are in close enough contact to do that?
You question me too much, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Far too much.
I question all that is not yet familiar to me. Have there been any further leads on those mole miners?
I think the Athega system's our best bet.
Grand Admiral Thrawn?
Yes, Master Sabayon?
Where are my Jedi, Grand Admiral? You promised me that your tame Nogre would bring them to me.
Patience, Master Sabayon. They await the proper time to act.
The time had best be soon. I grow tired of waiting.
As do we all.
Interesting. I wonder what exactly Grand Admiral Thrawn is up to. We'll make our delivery in a week. The whole system is expecting a hornet's nest of New Republic ships. Not a situation we really want to fly into. And I'm sure our clients would prefer a late delivery to losing the entire shipment.
You're not giving the Force enough control.
I'm giving it all the control I can. I just don't have the proper techniques down yet.
You can learn it. I learned it, and I never had any of the self-defense training you got when you were growing up on Alderaan.
What's wrong?
The Empire just pulled a 3-prong hit and fade on 3 systems in the Sluis sector. Someplace called Bafashi and 2 unpronounceable ones.
They're up to something. I can feel it. Something big, something dangerous.
How bad was the damage?
Not nearly as bad as it could have been, but all 3 systems are pretty shook up.
I can imagine. Let me guess. Mon Mothma wants me to go out there and assure them that the New Republic really is able and willing to protect them?
Chewie's getting the Falcon prepped now.
You're not going alone, are you? After Bimmisaari?
Oh, don't worry. There's a 20-ship convoy going out to assess the damage, plus Wedge and Rogue Squadron. It'll be safe enough.
That's what we said about Bimmisaari. I'd better come along.
Well, actually, you can't.
Why not?
Because the Bafashi don't like Jedi.
The story is that some of their Jedi went bad during the Clone Wars and really mangled things before they were stopped.
It wasn't just Bafashi either. Some of those dark Jedi escaped and made trouble throughout the Sluis sector. One even got as far as Dagobah before he was caught.
Dagobah?
That's right. Why?
No reason.
We can discuss history later. The sooner we get going, the sooner we can get this over with.
Right. I'll get my travel bag and give Winter some instructions. Meet you at the ship.
I don't like it.
Don't worry. She'll be safe. Look, I know how protective you're feeling towards her these days, but you can't always have her big brother standing over her.
Actually, we've never figured out which one of us is older.
The best thing you can do for her right now is what you're already doing. You make her a Jedi, and she'll be able to handle anything the Imperials throw at her.
I suppose so. Be careful.
Hey, it's me.
Dagobah. This is Skywalker. I'd like my X-Wing prepped for launch in 1 hour.
As you can see, the place is something of a mess.
How many people died in the attack?
In this system, a few hundred. Not nearly as many as there could have been. I wonder why. So does everyone else. It's been the second most popular question. Let me guess. The first is why do they even bother pounding on Bafashi in the first place? You've got it. It's not like they didn't have better targets to choose from. You've got the Sluis Van shipyards about 30 light years away. A few hundred ships there at any given time. So why here?
Sluis Van is pretty heavily defended, with our star cruisers and their own battle stations. Any Imperial leader with a gram of sense would think twice before tackling it.
You okay?
I was just remembering. Well, when Darth Vader was having us tortured on Bespin, Luke knew it was happening from far away. There were rumors that the Emperor and Vader could do that too.
Yeah, but they're both dead.
What if the Imperials have found another Dark Jedi?
You talking about C'baoth?
What?
Joruus C'baoth. He was a Jedi Master back in pre-Empire days. Disappeared before the Clone Wars. I heard a rumor that he surfaced again and set up shop on Jomark. Right, and he was just sitting around doing nothing during the rebellion. I just report him, General. I don't make him up.
Han! Wedge! Duck!
They've learned. This time they're jamming our communications. Sounds like you've run into these guys before. We've met. Haven't really figured out what they want.
Han!
Chewie probably discovered the jamming and put 2 and 2 together. Stay sharp. They may try to flank us.
Wait a minute. There's something wrong. I can't feel Chewie on the ship.
He's probably just too far away. Hang on a minute.
The underside swivel blaster. Why isn't he using it?
Good question. Simple answer. That's not the Falcon. What? I can't believe it. These guys dug up another working YT-1300 freighter from somewhere. They must really want you bad. Yeah, I'm starting to get that impression myself. Got any good ideas?
Is there any way we can disable that ship?
Lots of ways. Problem is, you have to be inside for most of them. The outside shielding isn't great, but it blocks hand blasters just fine.
Will it block this?
Alright, but I'll go.
We all go. We know they want at least one of us alive, otherwise they'd just have flown overhead and blasted us.
Yeah, okay. Give me the lightsaber. Ready? Go!
What did you do?
Cut through the coolant lines to the main drive.
So, now what?
Now we collect our escort and get out of here.
Escort?
Rogue 9 to Rogue Leader. You're all clear, Wedge.
Why just disable a ship when you can disable it and send a distress signal at the same time? You know, sometimes I still amaze myself.
I can assure you, Captain Solo, that we are doing everything to find out how this happened.
That's what you said about 4 days ago.
You might be surprised, between the council members, staff, crew, and other personnel, over 200 people have direct access to the mission itinerary. Tracking through all that is going to take time.
Great. May I ask what you suggest we do in the meantime?
You have your escort.
We had them 4 days ago, too. Commander Antilles and Rogue Squadron are fine in space, but this kind of stuff isn't their area of expertise.
Under the circumstances, perhaps it would be best if you simply brought Counselor Organa Solo back here where she could be properly protected.
I'd love to. The question is whether she'll be any safer on Coruscant. The Imperials are getting information out of that place. They might just as easily get their agents in.
The security arrangements I've set up on Coruscant are quite capable of handling anything the Imperials might try.
Yeah. I'm sure they are, Admiral.
Until we know more, do whatever you feel is necessary. Coruscant out.
Right.
It's just me. You finished talking with Akbar already?
It wasn't much of a conversation.
You do have a way with people.
This one's not my fault.
For all his military genius, Akbar just isn't a good politician. And with Falia nipping at his heels...
Yeah, well, if he's trying to keep Leia away from the military, he's got the wrong end of the blaster. Half of them are already convinced that Leia's the guy to listen to.
Unfortunately, he often is. Charisma and ambition. Dangerous combination.
Dangerous?
Just a feeling. A sense that Falia has his eye on more than just Akbar's job as Supreme Commander.
I suppose you're anxious to get back to Coruscant?
You sound like you're not.
Well, it's what everyone expects you to do. So maybe we ought to do something else.
I have commitments back on Coruscant.
You've got commitments to yourself, too. Not to mention the twins.
I can't be out of touch. There's too much happening.
How about some place that has a diplomatic station? You'd be able to get all of the Coruscant news there.
And how do we make sure the local ambassador doesn't give us away?
Who says the ambassador has to know? We've got a receiver on the Falcon. We can tap into the transmission on our own.
Only if we can get hold of the encrypt scheme.
There's slicers running around who eat government encrypt codes for breakfast.
I don't suppose you'd know any of them. Do I get to know where we're going?
We need someone we can trust and has his own list of illegal slicers.
You don't mean Lando?
Who else?
Why do I suddenly have a bad feeling about this?
R2, find me a good spot to sit down, will you? Thanks. I'm gonna start the landing cycle.
The cave.
Hang on, I'll get you down. I thought Yoda might have left something. Some records or books behind. Something that would tell me more about the methods of Jedi training. Not much left, though, is there? Back that way? I hope you're not going to tell me that all you were picking up was our own ship. You're sure? Stay here, R2.
face this. You cannot threaten me. I'm not gonna play this game. I've faced this crisis too, and I've defeated it. No! I don't know what it is. Do you recognize it? Lando? I don't ever remember seeing Lando with anything like this. But I was pretty busy at the time. All right. We're gonna swing over to the Athega system and see Lando. Maybe he can tell us what this thing is. No, I don't have a transit permit. I'm trying to reach Lando Calrissian.
You're not on our records.
Look, just give Lando a call, will you? Tell him that an old friend wants to play a hand at Sabak for my choice of his stock. He will understand.
We want to do what?
The Imperials might have spies here. Lando will know it's me, provided that middle-level button pusher loosens up. Any make on it?
Unidentified ship. General Calrissian has authorized a transit waiver for you. Your escort is approaching. Hold position until they arrive.
Escort?
Nikhlon is a super hot planet. Way too close to the sun for any normal ship to approach without getting the hull peeled off. Hence, the escort.
Unidentified ship. This is Shield Ship 9. Ready to lock. Please transmit your slave circuit code.
Shield Ship 9, we don't have a slave circuit. Just give me your course and we'll stay with you.
Very well, unidentified ship. Set your course at 284, speed point 6 sunlight.
Stay with him, Chewie.
What's wrong?
I don't know. I don't like it, though. Shield Ship 9, what's the holdup?
Not to worry. We've got another craft coming in that also doesn't have a slave circuit. We're gonna have to take you both in together. No point tying up two of us, right?
You have an ID on that other ship?
Hey, friend. We don't even have an ID on you.
You're a big help. Chewie, you got an approach yet on this guy? Oh, cute. Real cute.
What?
He was coming in from the far side of the shield ship central pylon, keeping it between him and us where we can't scan him. Stay sharp. This might be a decoy. Hello, strangers. Good to see you.
What's happening?
We're in Nikhlon's shadow. I've got a lock on Lando's mining operation.
First Bespin, now Nikhlon. Have you ever known Lando when he wasn't involved in some kind of crazy scheme?
Not very often.
I think I see the city. That group of lights over there?
Too small. More likely it's a group of mole miners. Last I heard he had 100 of the things digging stuff out of the surface.
Unidentified ships. You've been cleared for landing on platforms 5 and 6. Follow the beacon in, and watch out for the bumps.
Got it. Tell me again about Lando and his crazy schemes.
Unidentified ship. Welcome to Nomad City. What's this about playing a hand of Savick?
Lando, we were just talking about you.
I'll bet. Are Leia and Chewie with you?
We're all here.
It's not exactly a social call. We need a little help.
Well, sure. Anything I can do. I'll even...
Someone's jamming us. Chewie, find us a clear frequency.
Any ships who can read me, check in.
Lando, what's going on? Imperial Star Destroyer coming in fast.
They found us.
Let me worry about that Star Destroyer, R2. You just keep trying to find a way through that jamming.
Luke,
I'm here. What's the plan?
I was hoping you'd have one. Lando's scrambling the fighters he's got by keeping them close to the city.
We're the attack front then. Let's try this. I'll run ahead. Try to confuse or slow them down. You follow right behind me and take them out.
Here they come.
If this is an invasion, better warn Lando.
Leia's on it.
Ben? Not Ben.
You will come to me, Luke.
Who are you?
You will find me, and the Jedi shall rise again. Until then, farewell.
Luke!
Leia.
Luke, are you alright?
Sure. What's wrong?
You're what's wrong. You planning to chase them all the way home?
It's over. What about the transports?
They retreated. We still don't know what they were doing. Lost track of them during the fight.
I must have lost track of time.
The adjudicator is clear, Admiral.
Good. So, Master Sabayoth?
They fulfilled their mission and obtained 51 of the mole miner machines you sent them for.
51? Excellent. You had no problem guiding them in and out?
They fulfilled their mission. How many times do you intend to ask me the same question?
Until I'm sure I have the correct answer. For a while, your face looked as if you were having trouble.
I had no trouble. What I had was a conversation. With Luke Skywalker.
Explain.
He's there right now, Grand Admiral. He arrived just ahead of the Judicator.
Skywalker is there, and you said nothing to me.
I told you before, Grand Admiral Thrawn. You will leave Skywalker alone. I will deal with him in my own time, in my own way. All I require of you is to take me to Jomark.
It's too soon. The rumors of your presence haven't had enough time to spread. Until we can be sure Skywalker will respond, you'll just be wasting your time there.
Oh, he'll respond. Trust me, Grand Admiral Thrawn. He will respond.
I always trust you. At any rate, I suppose it's your own time to waste. Captain Pelion, how long will it take to repair the damage to the Judicator?
Several days at least, Admiral.
All right. We'll go to the rendezvous point, stay long enough to make sure repairs are underway, and then take Master Sabayoth to Jomark. I trust that will be satisfactory.
Yes. I will rest now, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Alert me if you need my assistance.
Certainly. I want a course projection, Captain. The most direct line from Nikhlon to Jomark at the best speed an X-Wing could take.
Yes, sir. Even if Skywalker leaves immediately, there won't be any problem getting Sabayoth to Jomark ahead of him.
Indeed. What I need is a bit more challenging. We're going to drop Sabayoth and Jomark, then backtrack along Skywalker's course, 20 light years.
I don't understand, sir.
I mean to disabuse our great and glorious Jedi Master of his growing belief that he's indispensable to us.
So we wait along Skywalker's projected approach and ambush him.
Precisely. At which point, we decide whether to capture him for Sabayoth or simply kill him.
I respectfully suggest, Admiral, that we still make every possible effort to take Skywalker alive, particularly since his death might induce Sabayoth to leave Jomark and return to Wayland.
Interesting points, Captain. You're right, of course. At least until the work on the Sparty cylinders is finished. And we have all the Salamiri there we are going to need. His reaction to what we're doing might not be pleasant.
Agreed, sir.
Very well, Captain. I accede to your suggestion. It's time to be going. Launch probes to monitor for Skywalker's departure, and prepare the Chimera for light speed.
"51 of my best mole miners. Almost half my workforce. I'm sorry. I'm neglecting my duties as host, aren't I? Welcome to Nomad City. So what's going on? It's bad, isn't it?
Bad enough. There's a chance that Star Destroyer came here looking for me.
I'll do what I can, of course. I can tell you there's been no bounty offered, though.
How can you be sure?
Because I would have heard about it. We get our share of shady people here. Just because I'm respectable doesn't mean I'm out of touch. I told you he'd have contacts. So which of them do you trust, Lando? Excuse me. Yes?
We're picking up a short-range transmitter, coming from the lounge.
What kind of transmitter?
This kind, probably. I thought you might be able to identify it for me.
It's alright, I'll take care of it. Interesting. I haven't seen one of these in years. Where did you get it?
Buried in the middle of a swamp. R2 couldn't tell me what it was.
It's an old beacon call. Pre-Clone Wars vintage from the looks of it. You could tap a single command and your ship would come to you. Some would even fight their way through opposing ships with a reasonable degree of skill. Useful at times. Tell that to the Katana fleet.
R2 said he saw you with one just after Cloud City.
My personal ship was rigged. Vader's people must have found it and shut it down because it sure didn't come when I called it. You found this in a swamp?
Yes, on Dagobah.
Dagobah? As in the planet that dark Jedi from Bafashi fled to?
This must have been his. The cave I found it in absolutely tingles with the dark side. I think it must have been the place where he died. You were talking about Lando's smuggler contacts.
Right. I need to know which one of your marginally legal friends we can trust. Well, depends on what you need to trust them with. Leia's life? You're not serious.
You saw how close the Imperials are breathing down our necks. We need a place to hide her until Ackbar can find out how they're getting their information. She needs to stay in touch with events on Coruscant, which means a diplomatic station we can quietly tap into.
A diplomatic station means encrypt codes, and quietly tapping into encrypt codes means finding a slicer. A slicer you can trust. I'm sorry, Anne, but I don't know any slicers I trust that far. Any smuggler groups that have one or two on retainer? That I trust? Not really. The only one who might even come close is Talon Cod. Everyone I've talked to says he's extremely honest in his dealings. I've heard of Card. Been trying for months to contact him. Unlike Jabba, Card doesn't go around flaunting his power and influence. I'm not even sure where his base is. Chewie says that if you want, he's willing to take you to Kashyyyk. It ought to be possible to keep it quiet. You, Chewie, the New Republic rep, and a couple of others.
Except that we're back to the New Republic rep knowing about me.
Yeah, but he'll be a Wookiee. If he accepts you under his protection, he won't betray you.
Why don't you go with them? Then she'll be doubly protected.
Right. Except Chewie thinks it'd be better if we split up. He takes Leia to Kashyyyk. I fly around in the Falcon, pretending she's still with me. Makes sense to me. You can use my ship, Chewie. In fact, if you want company, Han, I'll come along with you. Sure.
Then Han sends messages to Coruscant pretending to be Leia?
I think we can do a bit better than that. You still have 3PO?
He's helping R2 check the Falcon for damage.
Great. Let's go talk to my chief programmer.
There you are. We were starting to wonder where you went.
I had some things to check on. You finished already?
My part is, it's 3PO's turn now. I was going to ask if you'd come to Kashyyyk with me, but it looks like you've got somewhere else to go.
I'm not running out on you, Leia. Really, I'm not. This is something that could mean more for you and the twins than anything I can do on Kashyyyk.
All right. But can you at least tell me where you're going?
I don't know yet. There's someone out there I have to find, but I'm not sure where to start looking. He's another Jedi.
I don't think this Sabath rumor is anywhere near solid enough to chase after.
What Sabath rumor?
A Jedi Master named Joris Sabath has reemerged from wherever it was he spent the past few decades. You hadn't heard it?
No.
Then how?
Someone called me, Leia, during the battle this afternoon. In my mind, the way another Jedi would. Do the rumors say where Sabath is supposed to be?
It could be an Imperial trap. Don't forget, Yoda said you were the last Jedi.
That's a possibility. But if it's not...
He's on Jomark, at least according to the rumor Wedge quoted for us.
Not very populated. Doesn't look like anyone's taken official notice of the planet in 15 years.
You'll be leaving right away?
No. I'll wait till you're ready to go. Give you that much protection at least.
I hope you know what you're doing.
So do I. But whether I do or not, it's something I have to try. Come on, let's go see how they're coming with 3PO.
At last! Master Luke, please tell General Calrissian that what he intends is a serious violation of my primary programming.
It'll be okay, 3PO. Lando and his people will be careful that nothing happens to you.
But Master Luke...
Actually, you could think of this as fulfilling your primary programming in a more complete way. I mean, isn't a translation droid supposed to speak for the person he's translating for?
I am a protocol droid, and I say again, this is not covered by any possible stretch of protocol, and nothing you do will...
Oh dear!
That's it. The perfect decoy for the perfect lady.
This feels decidedly strange.
Come on, we better get back to the Falcon.
It'll be all right, Han. Chewie and the other Wookiees will take good care of me.
They better. Let's go, 3PO. I can hardly wait to hear what Chewie thinks of your new voice.
Oh dear, oh dear!
Do I really sound like that?
She'll be fine. Don't worry. You know, that's almost exactly the same thing you said back on board D. Yes, but this time I mean it. That's nice to know. So, what do you have planned? Well, the first thing we ought to do is to have 3PO send a message to Coruscant. Give the impression Leia's aboard to anyone listening. Then I thought we might do a little sightseeing. Sightseeing? You mean flying all over the galaxy looking for replacement mole miners? And are you suggesting I'd stoop so low as to try to con you into helping me run my business? I forgot. You're respectable now. So what sights are we going to see? Well, you wanted to meet Talon Card. I thought we might take another crack at it. You know how to make contact with Card? Not directly, but I know how to get to his people. Alright, assuming we don't wind up playing tag with a Star Destroyer or two. Right. 3PO, you there?
Of course.
It's time for your debut performance.
Something, Captain?
Yes, sir. One of our probes picked up Skywalker and his companions.
Interesting. Observe, Captain, their strategy. Captain Solo and his wife and probably the Wookiee board their ship, while Calrissian similarly boards his. They fly to the edge of the system and make a switch.
But we've...
Shh. Excellent. They're in a hurry, which means 3 people transferred between those 2 ships.
Yes, sir. At any rate, we know that Leia Organa Solo remained aboard the Millennium Falcon.
Do we indeed?
I believe so, yes. Right after the other ships left, we intercepted a transmission from her that definitely originated from the Millennium Falcon.
Our recording? No, they're cleverer than that. A voice print Dr. Droid, probably Skywalker's protocol droid. Leia Organa Solo, you see, was one of the 2 people who left with the Lady Luck.
I don't understand.
Consider the possibilities. 3 people aboard the Millennium Falcon. 1 aboard the Lady Luck. 3 people transfer. Once we know there were 3 transfers, there are only 2 possible combinations. Either Solo and Organa Solo are together on the Lady Locke, or else Organa Solo and the Wookiee are there.
Unless one of the transfers was a droid.
Thanks to your transmission data, we know the protocol droid remained on the Millennium Falcon.
Yes, sir. Shall I put out an alert on the Lady Luck?
That won't be necessary. I know exactly where they are going.
You're not serious, sir.
Perfectly serious, Captain. This exercise only makes sense if Organa and the Wookiee are together. Given that, there is only one logical place for them to go.
Kashyyyk?
Kashyyyk. Now, what of Skywalker?
His vector was consistent with the course toward Jomark.
We'll need 2 more ships. An interdictor cruiser and some kind of freighter. An expendable one, preferably.
Understood, sir. With your permission, I'll get the Chimera underway.
R2? What happened? Where are we? 20 light years short of Jomark?
Unidentified starfighter. This is the Imperial Star Destroyer Chimera. Transmit your identification code and state your business.
Let's get out of here. R2, find me the nearest edge of the interdictor's gravity well. Come on. Come on, work.
Unidentified starfighter. I repeat, transmit your codes or prepare to be detained.
I see it! Hang on, R2! Deflector's up, R2. Just a few more seconds. Stand by for light speed. Tractor beam, I know!
Unidentified starfighter. You have no chance of escape. Power down and prepare to dock.
R2, we're gonna try something tricky. On my signal, I want you to reverse trigger the acceleration compensator. Full power. R2, now! We're free! Light speed, go!
Come with me, Captain. Your name?
Chris Peterson, sir.
You were in charge of the tractor beam during our engagement with the starfighter?
Yes, sir. But what happened wasn't my fault.
Explain.
The target did something with its acceleration compensator that...
I am aware of the facts. I am waiting to hear why this wasn't your fault.
I was never properly trained for such an occurrence. The computer lost the lock, but seemed to pick it up. There was no way for me to know...
It had picked up something else until the proton torpedoes detonated against the tractor beam projector.
Yes, sir.
Was this man's training your responsibility?
Yes, sir.
Did you, during that training, run through any scenarios similar to what just happened?
I don't remember, sir. He was a conscript.
Does that make him less worthy of your training time than a normal enlistee?
No, sir. I've always tried to treat my subordinates equally.
I see. Do you know the difference between an error and a mistake?
Sir? No, sir.
Anyone can make an error, Ensign. But that error doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct it. The error has now been corrected. You may begin training a replacement. We'll have Skywalker, Captain. Very soon now. We'll have him.
Yes, sir. I'm sure it's only a matter of time.
You misunderstand me. He's out there right now. Not very far away. And he's helpless.
I don't understand, sir.
That maneuver he used has an interesting side effect. Backfiring an acceleration compensator like that does severe damage to the adjoining hyperdrive. I suspect he didn't know about that. I light you away, no further, and it will fail completely. All we have to do is search along his escape vector.
Shall I contact the rest of the fleet?
Preparing for the Sluis Van attack is the fleet's top priority at the moment. No, we'll subcontract this one out. Send messages to the smuggling chiefs operating in the area. Brask, Card, Partar. Offer a bounty of 30,000.
Yes, sir. Sir, if you knew that Skywalker's escape was only temporary...
The Empire's at war, Captain. We cannot afford the luxury of men whose minds cannot adapt to unexpected situations. Carry out your orders, Captain. Skywalker will be ours. Alive or otherwise.